morning, Brooklyn class, and happy Thursday. Welcome back to Homeschool with Carly, where I share a lesson every single day that you can either follow along or just watch. Today, we are going to make an abstract milk painting. Yes, that does sound really odd, but I will explain everything, I promise. So for this experiment, you're going to need a couple of supplies. First being a glass dish, okay? So I'm just going to use a glass Pyrex dish. Next, you'll need an assortment of food coloring colors, some milk. I'm going to use some silk vanilla soy milk, but you can use regular dairy milk too. Anything works, okay? You're going to need some dish soap, Q-tips, and some rubber gloves if you choose. But I'm definitely going to use the rubber gloves because a lot of times the food coloring gets on your fingers and it stains and it's really hard to get out. So I'm going to start by putting my gloves on first, okay? The next thing is you're going to want to take that glass dish and place it in front of you, okay? And then you're going to want to take your milk and pour it into the glass so that there's a nice layer in there. Maybe half of the glass is fine, but you can do a quarter of the way too, okay? So I'm going to pour that milk in, and I'll show you. The milk is filling up the glass, okay? So it's nice, it's about halfway, I'd say, okay? The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab that assortment of colors, okay? And you're going to open them and you're going to start dropping them directly on top of the milk, okay? Because we're going to make an abstract milk painting, okay? So I'm laying out all of my colors. So far, I have green, a yellowish color, blue, and I even have red, okay? So for the first step, I'm going to start dripping, making little droplets, I would say, directly onto the milk, okay? So actually, I'm going to leave my milk here, and I'm going to bring you guys with me so you can see what I'm doing, okay? So I'm going to literally take the droplets, and I'm going to squeeze it so that I make little drops into the water, into the milk, okay? So I have a couple drops of red, right? And so I'm going to keep doing that with all of the colors, okay? So that was red. Now I'm going to add a little bit of green. Then I might add in some yellow, okay? And I'm going to show you guys when I'm finished so you guys can see what I did to this milk, okay? Right now, it looks like a spotty mess. So I'm going to add my final color blue, make a couple droplets. All right? And I'll show you guys what I did so far. So you can see that all that is colored drops all over. Okay, so all I did is I took the food coloring, okay, and I dripped it on top of the milk. That's all we did so far. Okay, so the next step is you're going to want to grab your Q-tips, okay? So I'm going to take this Q-tip and I'm going to put a little bit of this dish soap on it, okay? So we did an assignment like this before where I put dish soap on my finger and I placed it inside the dish, remember, and the pepper spread? Well, now we're going to do that same concept, but we're going to use a Q-tip instead of our finger so we don't make a mess, and we're going to see what we make considering that this isn't pepper, but this is actually colors. Let's see what happens. So first, I'm going to put some dish soap directly on top of my Q-tip, okay? I'm lathering it into the dish soap. And then I'm going to take you guys with me when I place this soapy Q-tip directly inside the milk. Let's watch what happens to the colors. Whoa, you see that? the colors are like mixing, but it's so different than when we did with the pepper, because with the colors, we're actually seeing that the colors are mixing. Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen? This is a really cool way to make a milk art, right? Look how cool that is. I mean, I'm able to see different colors within the colors. I see yellow within this side, blue circle, right? Inside this deep dark blue, I have red. This is so cool and so easy to make. And all we did was take dish soap, place it inside the milk with a bunch of colors, and it made its own work of art. That's what I call abstract art. But why does this happen? Well, we learned in our last video about water tension, right? So water tension is that ability to allow things to float on top of it, right? So milk is mainly water, right? It's not just the consistency of this white milk, which is protein, right? But it's also water. So what happens when I place a droplet of color on top of the milk is it floats, because this milk water mixture is more dense than this mixture of color, right? So this floats directly on top of the milk, right? And that's what water tension is. It allows things to float on it, right? That are less dense. However, when we change that chemical balance by adding soap, right? It's no longer just H2O or milk with H2O, right? Now it has this soap, and this soap breaks the water tension, okay? And that is what creates this really cool abstract work of art, because when you break the water tension, the colors have to spread, right? And they move away from that soap because they can only float, right, on the outside where there's no soap. And if you look carefully, there's these giant circles, right? You see all those white circles in between the color? Well, those giant circles are where the soap is sitting, right? And so the color stays around it. Is that not the coolest abstract art you've ever seen with kitchen materials? I love art and I love science. I will see all of you on Exercise Friday. Bye!